Unity hymn. Election Petition Tribunal affirms Diri as Bayelsa governor. And on the foreign scene, Cyclone Bremal kills over 7 people in South Asia. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Welcome to the news this morning. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. The Eke Hotel and Suite Convention Center in Lagos was filled to the brim last Saturday when Governor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, CFR, received the Champion Group of Newspapers Man of the Year Award on Infrastructure and Rural Development. The award, which was received on his behalf by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Onyeka Chukwuibezim, was presented by the former Governor of Cross River State, Mr. Donald Duke. While presenting the award, the former Cross River Governor, Mr. Donald Duke, said emphatically that the history of our country, Nigeria, in modern time cannot be complete without the sufficient mention of Professor Soludo. Mr. Duke commended the sterling performances of Governor Soludo in the area of infrastructural and rural development, alluding to the fact that Governor Soludo has changed the entire landscape of Anambra State into one big construction site, with infrastructural projects springing up in every nook and crannies of the state. He also praised Soludo's style of leadership, prudent management of resources, and responsive governance, which have all culminated in this prestigious award and recognition by the Champion Group of Newspapers. Dr. Ibezim, who received the award on behalf of Governor Soludo, expressed gratitude to the organizers of the event for bestowing the honor on the governor. He further remarked that this award is a push to do more for the people of Anambra and also an indication that Anambra State under Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, is on the right track. He dedicated the award to Ndi Anambra and members of the solution team. The event was chaired by the former military governor of Maiduguri and Lagos states, respectively, and currently the chairman of the Nigeria Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Marwa. Other dignitaries who graced the event include the Deputy Governor of Borno State, traditional rulers, business executives, bank MDs, CEOs, and captains of industry, too numerous to mention. Anambra State government has inaugurated a special task force to drive the implementation of the food security and nutrition analysis, technically harmonized as CADA harmonized in the state. The inauguration, which took place in Oka, follows the decision of the federal government through the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to expand analysis to the rest of the country after a successful implementation in 26 states. Correspondent Chibuzo Obirike covered this event. His report.
The Cadre Harmonize CH is an early warning tool developed upon request of Food and Nutrition Insecurity FNI stakeholders, governments, international, local, non-governmental organizations and civil society groups, and members partners in the Food Crisis Prevention Network (RPCA), used for prevention and management of food and nutrition insecurity. At the inauguration of the task force, the Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Foster Ifejiofor, said that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has a mantra of "if you can't measure it, you can't manage it." As such, the Cadre Harmonized program is to identify measurable indexes as regards to food and nutrition security in the state. According to the Agriculture Commissioner, the outcome of the Cadre Harmonized analysis will provide early warning alerts for national and state government as well as development partners on the prevailing situation of food security and nutrition, with locations and galvanized support towards targeted actions.
The Cadre Harmonized program is intended to give us measurable indices with regard to food and nutrition security in the state. And I want to congratulate you that I met the team. You were selected from your various line ministries because you have the requisite competence to contribute effectively to the success of the program in the state. and we need to see it as a true call to duty. Duty that is so fundamental to our survival as a race.
Addressing the team, the State Director of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Ato Mbuba, expressed happiness with the inauguration of the State Task Force and applauded stakeholders and the government for the critical role played in maintaining high standards the state is known for.
Part of the prerequisite that you must be computer literate, not only being a computer literate person, you must be renowned in Excel and other packages. So, and I'm sure Anambra we have what it takes. So I thank you, and my prayer is that maybe on conclusion of the inauguration today, you will carry on your duties with the required diligence.
In his remark, the team leader, Mr. Anthony Amu, who is also the Deputy Director of Monitoring and Evaluation under the National Program for Food Security (NPFS) for the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, revealed that CH started in Nigeria in 2015 and geared towards having the true picture of food and nutrition situations in Nigeria. He expressed optimism that the state will continue to be the pace setter they are known for.
CH exercise is highly very rigorous, and we need very experienced and computer literate to be able to be part of the team. And I'm proud to say that Anambra State has never disappointed in any of the tasks assigned to them.
On her part, the Permanent Secretary of the State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Mrs. Ifeyinwa Uzoka, said the task force team are highly skilled professionals who are selected at a time when government at all levels are leaving no stone unturned in reinvigorating the nation's economy. Speaking on behalf of the members of the team, Mr. Dubem Obukwelo assured that they will put their best efforts towards the realization of the goals.
Anambra Governor's wife and founder of the non-governmental crusade Healthy Living with Nonya Saludo initiative, Mrs. Nonya Saludo has shared time with children at the Model Community Children's Home, Oka, in commemoration of this year's Children's Day celebration. The governor's wife also prepared lunch for the children and joined them in different activities that were put up to mark the event. Recall that Mrs. Saludo made a similar gesture to the home during last year's Children's Day celebration. Speaking shortly after cooking and dining with the children, the Anambra governor's wife explained that hers was to keep providing shelters for the kids and give them the needed motherly closure to dream high and succeed. She noted that children deserve the best always, pointing out that her regular visits to the home were to ensure that children were well taken care of. Mrs. Saludo also explained that she has a primary responsibility to cater for the children and help them become better persons and reach the height of their dreams in life. The governor's wife further stated that her motivation for preparing the lunch herself is to create the right image of a mother who values and celebrates our children. She also talked about showing love to children and giving them the protection, closure, and platforms to live and thrive without social, economic, and cultural barriers. On her part, the caretaker of the home, Reverend Sister Philomena Akuchuku, said that the governor's wife has continued to support the home and with all it needs, and has always been there for the children who have taken her as their mother. She described Mrs. Saludo's insistence to cook for the home herself as a height of humility and motherly compassion, which should be emulated by every woman. As children all over the world mark the 2024 Children's Day celebration, a philanthropist and the Deputy Commander General of Technical Services of the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Services, Dr. John Mechie, has made a case for children or Nigerian children, calling on leaders at all levels to prioritize the welfare of every child. In his Children's Day message, Dr. Mechie urged parents to put the needs of their children and worth first and spend more time with them to ensure a better society and secure future for them. Correspondent Princess A.P. Ajide completes the story.
Mechie, who is also the Prime Minister of Anambra State Association of Town Unions, ASATU, and President General of Umueri community said the celebration should be utilized in tackling incessant attacks on schools and children. He urged federal and state governments to appreciate, embrace, and work with officers and men of the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Services to bring an end to such crimes. The Anambra-born philanthropist Meche and wife, Mrs. Linda Meche, has over the years carried out and still reaching out to school children and orphanage homes across the country to put smiles on the faces of Nigeria's future leaders. The DCG Technical Services Ambassador John Meche, whose love for children knows no bounds, on behalf of his family and the entire team at Nigeria Hunters and Forest Security Services, congratulated Nigeria children on the 2024 Children's Day. In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
After weeks of heat waves and evening rainfall last Friday has left many residents in Inenzu Estate Okpuno in Okasa local government area stranded following a flood that submerged houses and damaged properties. Many residents were trapped in their vehicles while others could not leave their homes due to the heavy downpour that led to the flooding. Correspondent Lesson Dennis tells us more.
ABS, after they were addressed by the area commander, the caretaker committee chairman of the market, Evangelist Raphael Nwufo, alleged that Mr.
Many fences at Inuzu Estate were pulled down, buildings submerged, properties lost, and street roads washed away by the rainfall. Speaking on the impact of the flooding, a resident, Mrs. Chika Okeke, said the flood damaged her property and those of her neighbor last night and called on the state government to quickly intervene, especially with the ongoing construction of the roads along Okpuno to Goodwill Junction. Other residents, Mr. Chukwebuka Umenwobi and Mr. Umonnachi Eze, appealed to the government's assistance urgently because of the seriousness of the problem, saying that the development would equally affect their children from going to school, while the residents would have no means of going out for their businesses.
Oh, in fact, I know every year, it's like I know. I'm not focusing on this because now the overall especially the line, fire channel, the millimeter, so of course the line serious problem. Government should know that now. You are now only like the government. You know it's an agreement when you get in our
Another resident, Ifi Uzekwe, called on government to help to ensure that every developer constructs proper drainages within their property.
Mr. Governor Chuma Soludo, we don't know where to run to than to tell you our plight. Because most homes, till about 2 a.m. now 1 minute. So that this message can get to you. Because I am wondering how else to do it. Because
at Reverend Father Arazu premises, Reverend Father Chike Ogrejo said if the contractors handling the road project did a good job on the floodplain, the damage done would have not been of high magnitude. He urged the government to send its officials to the site to find out the quality of the job done and ways to ensure that contractors in charge are made to take responsibility for their actions.
It's unbearable. We need to make our voice heard because if it is not addressed, life could be lost. Yeah. We have incurred a lot of damages here this morning, today, but we don't know what will happen tomorrow. We want the government and the power that be who need to address this issue to take prompt action before somebody's life is lost.
During the monitoring of the area, the ABS News crew noticed that most of the hotels and recreational centers channel their wastewater to the streets, which also contributes to the regular flooding. In Oka, Blessing Dennis, ABS News.
Traders at the old motor spare parts in Bukanewi have protested an alleged sit-tight tendency, harassment of colleagues with security personnel, and lack of accountability in the office by their former chairman, Mr. Chinedu Enyeribe. Bearing placards with various inscriptions, the traders marched from Market to Newi Police Area Command, where they said some of them had been invited for detention. Correspondent Joseph Ebocha, who covered the event, now reports.
Speaking to the ABS after they were addressed by the area commander, the caretaker committee chairman of the market, Evangelist Raphael Nwufo, alleged that Mr. Enyeribe was elected for a 3-year tenure, but before his tenure expired, he caused an amendment on the market constitution and stayed a year longer, after which he has continued to hold on to power for almost 7 years. He said that when the President General of the Anambra State Market Traders Association, ASMATA, was contacted over the development, he distanced himself from the activities of the accused. The reason the traders challenged his continued stay in office, resulting in Mr. Enyeribe using the police and other security apparatus to harass them.
General Chairman Amata Anambra State, ASMATA, Osino Oberiasiano, no leba, no risk on a take. So on your message, after to decide, we choose to Zen, we is a police now to get in the matter. I will say an overall on your Melaji Mende BS invite a governor, commissioner for industry, special advisor to the governor of market, and do concern the Marine equivalent.
Contributing, Messrs. Chukwudi Mbebie, Patrick Okonkwo, Emeka Okpose, and Chukwukwado Emerebe corroborated the accusations and noted that Mr. Enyeribe used security personnel to intimidate fellow traders, among other infractions.
Then, na ihe busi okwu anyị kịta abụ na anyị nwere nwa anyị na-ebu n'obi anyị wụ ọbụ na gọvanọ na ndị otu ya dịka esi gwa anyị na ha chọọ ka eme elekshọn n'ọka ya tega ya anyị bụ ndị mbukwu anọkọ n'ọnụ ma ụlọ nwa họpụta ka ya tega.
Others, including Messrs. Paul Agaba, Madabuchi Odemegu, Ebubechukwu Udegbunam, and Ugochukwu Ndubisi, joined in calling for the intervention of relevant stakeholders and the Anambra State government to forestall an impending breakdown of law and order in the market. When ABS contacted Mr. Enyeribe, who also introduced himself as the caretaker committee chairman of the market, he said that all allegations leveled against him were false, saying that those who are desperate for power hired a crowd for the protest after they had attacked him at the market. He claimed that the state government asked him to continue to stay in office because of his good work. Regardless of the differences, both parties called on the government to look into the erosion menace that has claimed shops in the market to enable traders to generate more revenue for the government.
Manam na government ka ha ne banya n'okwu a maka na ha abago ma ogu tie mi ife because na report no matter na police onye jire police chọrọ peace onye ọbụla jire report no matter na police to onye na achọ so onye report cha matter bata na shop ha tie mi ife last Saturday maybe see my eyeglass phones ego dim na aba ha maybe many things ejikwa back to the police egosi ha onwe m at that moment mana onwe onye na-aka ha obi o nwere somebody na outside na-enye ha na rent this crowd on for today.
Joseph Ebocha reporting for ABS News.
The Bayelsa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Abuja on Monday, upheld the election that produced Governor Doye Diri of Bayelsa State. A three-man panel led by Justice Adekunle Adeleye dismissed the petition filed by the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Temipriye Silva, and the party for lacking in merit. In a unanimous decision, the tribunal held that the petitioners failed to prove any credible evidence to back up any of the allegations that raised against the re-election victory of Diri. On the foreign scene, at least 7 people, including a child, have died in southern India as tropical cyclone Remal lashed the area with torrential rains and heavy winds. A senior district official told reporters that a 12-year-old girl and her father were among those killed as a poultry shed that was under construction collapsed in a village in the state of Telangana, Vladagutem. The 5 others killed were also in Telangana. More than 1 million people in India and Bangladesh were evacuated Sunday as the cyclone made landfall near the border between the two countries. The cyclone has continued to move inland across eastern India, toppling trees, turning roads into rivers, and causing wild-scale damage. And now in sports, the number of Nigerian athletes who have qualified for the track event of the Paris 2024 Olympics, which will be held from July 26 to August 11, keeps growing with the addition of sprinters Rosemary Chukwuma and Tima Godbless punched their tickets at the National Colgate Athletics Association Regional Finals. African Under-20 Championships gold medalist Chukwuma qualified for the Olympics in style as she set to all the milestones during her race. She ran a personal best of 10.88 seconds to lower her school record in the 100 meters and also become the second fastest Nigerian woman all-time behind Blessing Okagberi, who is a former volunteer assistant and master's degree graduate from Chukwuma School, Texas Tech. She shaved the 0.11 seconds of the BP set in 2022, beating Ariane Linton, who was second in 11.07 seconds, and Jacina Carter in 11.09 seconds. And that's it on the news this morning. But before we go, a quick reminder that you can follow news and programs on ABS from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page, follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Orca. Follow us on X at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. A quick recap of our major stories. Governor Soludo has received Man of the Year award. Mrs. Soludo has celebrated Children's Day with children of Model Community Home. Election Petition Tribunal has reaffirmed Duri as Bayelsa governor. And on the foreign scene, we told you that Cyclone Raymond has killed over 7 people in South Asia. Remember that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. So let's give him maximum support for the tax ahead. And that's it on the news this morning. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Chidima Oranwa. Good morning.